for November 10th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Please stand for the pledge. Roll call.
Mr. Hyde?
Yep.
Mr. Heiss?
Yes.
Mr. Lohman?
Here. Approval of the minutes for the October 13th, 2025 trustee meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I second it.
Roll call.
Mr. Heiss?
Yes.
Mr. Lohman?
Yes.
Mr. Hyde?
Yes.
Approval of paying the bills as have been presented over the past month.
I make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Heiss?
Yes.
Mr. Lohman?
Yes.
Mr. Hyde?
Yes.
Great.
Okay, correspondence, me. I did the public records training and got the certificate for that, which I turned in. The Miami Historical Society is having a program, the Grand Army of the Republic, this Wednesday, the 12th at 7 p.m. on Miami Town. It's 7998 Main Street. The Ohio Township Association is having a winter conference February 4th to 6th at the Columbus Convention Center. The next America 250 meeting is Thursday, December 4th at 7 p.m. at 8021 Harrison Avenue at the McHarmony Lodge. I'll be probably going to that. And I'd gotten in a mail, which I guess I can do later, is the Strickers Grove contract for next year. I guess I can do it now. So they've reserved Sunday, May 17th, 2026 for our annual picnic. The cost is $59.99, which is reduced from $7,900 for grounds, midway rides, roller coasters, and for 6 hours. And they just need a signed contract and $999 deposit, like by December 15th.
So do you want to sign it tonight and then I'll get the deposit made?
Yeah, I guess.
I move that we accept that contract for Strickers Grove on May the 17th for the amount stated.
I second it.
Roll call.
Mr. Heiss?
Yes.
Mr. Lohman?
Yes.
Mr. Hyde?
Yes.
All right. That's all I have. Dennis?
All right, I have a lot. I don't know why, but I have. Ohio EPA, Columbus has a new office location. It's at 50 West Town Street, Suite 700, Columbus, Ohio. About their phone number and their email is the same. United Way of Greater Cincinnati is looking for volunteers to help people with their tax returns. And they had a bunch of other bullet points underneath of that, but that was the main one. If you're interested, you can contact United Way. Southwest District of Ohio EPA has a new location as of November the 3rd. It's at 220 East Monument Avenue, Suite 400, Dayton, Ohio. I got an ad to prepare for House Bill 96 cybersecurity compliance. That was from Keith Marseille with Fortress Cybersecurity. I have his phone number. Hamilton County Commissioner Alicia Reese announced the second annual small business pitch night Wednesday, and that's passed. It's 10/22 from 4 to 8, so that's already over. Auditor of State Bulletin 225-012. It had to deal with perks that employees might receive from frequent flyer miles and other rewards or discount programs. It was a bulletin that told you how to handle that. Hamilton County Planning and Development Collaboration Meeting was November the 7th at Anderson Center, 5 Mile Road. That's passed. I got my certified public records training, handed my certificates in. There's a fundraising opportunity to raise funds for the Shaker Village, October 24th to November the 24th. You do survey on brands. Brenda's got the details on that. OTA Winter Conference, registration starts 11/3, and it is February 4th to the 6th up at the Columbus Convention Center. I'm going to try to attend that this year. Government Accounting Standards Board, 68 data now available through December the 31st, 2024, and it showed your OP&F payments. They want the OP&F payments to be considered as an accounting liability and not a legal liability. So there was stuff on that. Our township education subscription, I guess that was sent out. I don't know if fiscal office got that, $250.
I think we paid it.
For the last couple of years.
I think we've paid it.
Okay. Got a notice of Chief Davis on the spare engine needing work on brake system, and he'll probably touch on that. Statewide Healthy Play Initiative. It is put on by vendors that do playground equipment. That was in Blue Ash on November the 3rd, so that's already gone. Communication from United Way about disruption of SNAP payments, and you're supposed to call the 211 helpline. And for our food resource map, you can go. Okay, their website is food resource map at uwgc211.org. So now that the federal government seems to be heading in the right direction again, might not need that. Hamilton County Engineers, new information as of November 1st. Their phone number has been changed to 513-946-8900. And their email is engineer@hamiltoncountyohio.gov. I got an email from Bill Eager, POAH, Cincinnati, regarding public housing, which we don't have public housing out here. Jake Rosen contacted me about snow removal up at Sedona Ridge, Phase 1. I referred him to Jim Niehaus. And then I had the Grand Army of the Republic from Jennifer Borneman. I got a handout right here. I'll give to Brenda. It's going on at the Miami Historical Society of Whitewater Township. Oh, you already got that? All right. I'm getting here to the end. Ohio Department of Development released information on 2 grant programs, Brownfield Remediation Program and Building Demolition and Site Revitalization, which we don't have any of that. There's a grant writing workshop in Batavia, January 8th to 9th. Registration is $525 if you're interested in that. And that is all I have.
I have a question. On the February event that's in Columbus, what is our policy for the number of people that we might want to go? And do we pay 100% of the fees? And is there a request to travel policy?
There has never been a limit on the amount of people that go up there, to
Okay.
my knowledge, as long as I've been here.
Okay.
And we cover the mileage up and
And the
back.
hotel, that we pay
Yeah,
the
we
fees
cover
and everything.
everything that they bring back and they got a receipt for, so.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask. I didn't know.
Usually there's I've never seen more than 2 people go up on 2 different days, so, you know, we'll just have to see. It's open, as far as I know, it's open to anybody that's a township employee that would like to go.
Okay, so as I understand it, the registration is now open,
Yep,
so people could start to register, but we don't have to get any pre-approvals on any of the registrations. They just register and give me receipts when they get back. Is that right?
Well, that's just for that's just for trustees and you to go, right? I mean, anybody can't
no,
go.
Jim Niehaus could go if he wanted to go.
But department heads.
Department heads?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, all right, sounds good.
It's not open to the public.
Right, no. No, I assumed that, but I thought
Yeah,
everybody at
just-
the tables here would be good.
Yeah, and it's just us and department heads.
Okay,
I guess Alan could go if he needed to, so.
They usually have a separate programs for
For the town.
council, but
Right.
not part of this, what you're going to.
Right.
All right,
I'm done.
thanks, Dennis. Chuck?
Yeah, on October 20th, I received a township news book, and it announced news and announcements. And the Auditor of State, bulletin number 2025-012, deal with Ohio Ethics Commission Advisory, which is OEC. They want to update the, from 1991, revised restriction from public officials and employees personally using rewards earned going official business. They want a public office to adopt a policy. Basically, what they want, if you own they don't want you to own some kind of rewards, whatever, from using a company, a kickback. Basically, stop for kickback to the employees. They want us to adopt a policy.
so do we not have a policy on that now?
Now, I know, are you aware of any policy for
Anybody
employees?
know of a policy? Okay, all right, we'll get one written.
Yeah, on the email received from the township news books. I guess you both got it. And also on the same one is Auditor of State bulletin number 2025-013. This is a tax-exempt public office. They want us to adopt a written policy on the use of the township tax-exempt certificate, and when an official or employee is allowed to pay sales tax, the public office will reimburse. That probably is something if you buy something from this company one time and once, if you deal with a company all the time, like a local company, like we should actually get an account set up as tax exempt and then use like Home Depots. We can have account with them, and we do have account with them. We should use that because that is a tax exempt instead of using a credit card. So, last thing,
So can you get me those 2 official documents so I can
yeah,
get
I
those 2
want another
policies?
policy for that too.
Okay,
And if I know, we're gonna have a policy on that either, so. The last thing I have is U.S. Department of Energy, every 5 years, they review of the, Bernard Preserve. And this is they already done 5 of these 5 years reviews, so this is 6th. And this is required by Section 121 of ICRC-TV to protect human health and the environment. They want feedback from the community for the last 5 years using a questionnaire. You can request that questionnaire by calling 513-648-3330 or email at funar@lm.doc.gov. That's all I have. Any questions?
Nope.
Yeah, I really want, I guess the state auditors want everybody to have a policy on everything we do now. So let's get two policy we're gonna have. So
All right, thanks, Chuck. Public at large, I only have someone that's going to speak during the fiscal report, so we'll go to Lieutenant Jeremy DePolii.
All right, good evening, everybody. Lieutenant Jeremy DePoley, Hamilton County Sheriff's Department, with the November report covering October incidents in Crosby Township. Criminal reports. First one we had was a theft from auto attempt. It was up in Fort Scott. I want to give a little credit to an alert neighbor up there. I don't have that neighbor's name. A little bit irrelevant, but anyway, up on Vista View Circle on the 7th of October, a neighbor observed somebody out there prowling around some vehicles in the middle of the night. A witness observed the suspect, Michael Matthews, male, black, 19, entering a neighbor's unlocked vehicle and attempting entry into at least one other locked vehicle during the overnight hours. He was also witness casing several other vehicles in the area. And he was located by our responding deputies hiding in his vehicle, where he was taken into custody and transported to the Justice Center. Nothing was ever reported stolen, but he was clearly up there looking for something. So that's Deputy Allison Duber reporting. And this kind of goes back to what we always preach. If you see something, say something. This guy was clearly up to no good and prevented ruining somebody's night there. An identity fraud up on Hamilton Cleves Road on the 8th of October. Victim stated his credit card number was used at Pro Fleet Services to make an attempted purchase of tires. Value on that would have been $2,900. However, the victim was able to freeze the credit card before the purchase was made. A possible suspect was developed in Indianapolis, Indiana. No loss reported on that one. Deputy Brett Volrath with the report on that. Another identity fraud reported on the 15th of October on Bragg Lane. Again, persons unknown used the victim's personal information to open a loan with Plain Green Loans sometime between the end of August and middle of October. No suspects on that one. Total loss $700. Deputy Adam Kroger on that report. There was a residential structure fire on the 23rd of October on Fernald Drive. Fire department came out for a fire I believe to have ignited in the rear bedroom of the trailer residence. No injuries reported. There were some unusual circumstances which did require the arson investigator to open an investigation. Chief Davis may be able to elaborate more on that. Deputy Tony Bono's reporting on that one. And last criminal report taken in the month of October was a theft of auto, which, good news, turned out to be unfounded. 27th of October, somebody removed the victim's 2003 Honda Accord from his driveway on Fernald Drive by unknown means during the early morning hours. Turns out it was a tow company taking that for a private property violation. But one thing I want to note on here was that the victim had his 9mm loaded pistol in the center console of the vehicle. Please do not leave your loaded guns in your cars. That is what these guys, this Michael Matthews who's up here prowling around, it's what these guys are looking for. They're going to steal your car, but they're looking for guns. They take them back down to the city, and I don't have to say much more about what's happening down in the city of Cincinnati. So, anyway, investigation on that closed out unfounded. Non-criminal reports, there were 2 medical or fire nature that were taken. Criminal investigations, During the reporting period of October, 3 cases were assigned for investigation in Crosby Township to CIS, and 1 of those cases was closed. Traffic incidents, 3 auto crashes, 0 OVI arrests. Dispatch report, we got it right this month. Took a minute, but we got that straightened out. 105 calls for service in Crosby Township during the month of October, and 64 other non-billable details, which covered officers putting themselves out on self-initiated investigations and traffic stops. The other items, DVERT, Domestic Violence Enhanced Response Team program, which is run in conjunction with Women Helping Women, provides immediate resources and social services for victims of domestic violence or abuse. There were no incidents for which social workers responded out during October. More information can be found at www.womenhelpingwomen.org. I want to remind folks again that you do not have to be the victim of domestic violence or a crime on that. They will also provide other services for folks who are, particularly women who are in troubled relationships and other things of that nature. So it's not, you don't have to actually be roughed up or have charges filed for them to help. So sometimes they do come out when requested. The last item I'll have here today is resources for scam education. I know we talk about this, it seems every meeting. Again, we had 2 identity frauds here, neither of which appeared to be a scam issue per se, but I found a few of them on the internet. One of them I really like. I'll kind of refer to it as kind of like College Course Scams 101. Now, I got to warn you, it's written in Australian, but it's illustrated and it covers about 15 different types of scams. So I say written in Australian, it's a whole lot easier to understand than trying to listen to them talk. But that's a pretty good one. I'm not even going to try to put it out there, how it's too many dots and backslashes to give it to you over the microphone here, but it'll be on the report. And there's also a second one, which again also was from Australia, but it was pretty good. But the top one is I think is the better one to look at for kind of a beginner's guide to looking at what's going on and how to keep yourself safe. So
the lieutenant gave me a handout. I'll try to get a soft copy of this, but he's interested in what our interest might be, Brenda. So we just need to find out if there's interest in our community in this topic. And what I told him when he asked that question, I said, a lot of people don't know what they don't know. So they don't know they need to be interested.
Right.
So I think we just have to have a recurring offering, maybe every other month, and then we'll start getting people to come in. They'll learn some things. They'll communicate it. They'll network with others. So see how many you might be able to get. Is this online only, or is this live also?
that is I gave you the link for that. It's online.
Okay.
So anybody can go in there and look that up. You know,
Okay.
They can
We
go
might
be
need to
responsible for
spoon
themselves.
feed our senior population.
Understood on that. And if you want to just give me a general idea of, you got some interest, I'll see if I can get, one of my guys to come in who does the fraud investigation.
Yeah, I'm really interested. I actually made a couple phone calls, but so far haven't had a call returned to me. So if you have a specific name, that would be great. I did put in the newsletter at the bottom that there would be I called it just a presentation on scams. As I think I had to be announced because I couldn't make the connection yet to connect. So if you could help me with that part, that'd be
Sure.
great. And I would be glad to look at those links because I can always do handouts prior to that sort of thing. But I've been trying to put one together, so that's all good news. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, all right. Anybody else have any thoughts, questions, complaints? No complaints is good. I'll take that.
No complaints.
I guess since we have the office out there at Harrison, has the response time been cut down substantially when something comes in?
I haven't done any research on what response times were in the past. That's never been requested, but I can tell you, you certainly have a bigger presence up here with that station being there. That's pretty obvious that, you know, I find myself, now that there's a station to go and sit at myself as well, I'm up here a little bit more than I used to be as well. Just having that right there gives me somewhere to check in and so forth, so.
So did Whitewater ever sign on or not? Do you know?
Last I checked in on that, that's still unresolved.
So does that mean they're not getting patrols? Like,
Well, the sheriff's office is required by the Ohio Revised Code to provide service for any unincorporated area that does not have their own police force. So it does not say specifically in there what level of service is required on that. It's very vague. But yes, we are still responding in the Whitewater, if that answers your question. There are a few trouble areas in there that require attention. You got a couple up here, you got a couple out in Harrison. Every neighborhood has a few trouble areas. That's just the way that's going to be. So we are bound to still provide resources and responses.
all right. Thank you.
All right. Everybody have a good night.
You too, be careful. All right, legal, Alan?
I have no report.
Maintenance, Jim?
Well, we thought we was gonna mow there for the last time, but we got a little bit of mowing yet to do. Well, we moved the mailbox from across the parking lot to right here under the porch, so you no longer have to walk out in the rain, snow, ice to get to the mailbox over there. It's right here outside the door. Cylinder on the forklift, cylinder on the forklift started leaking, so we got it up at Rumpke Hydraulics, getting it fixed. The chipper, something happened to the clutch. We're waiting to get it in the repair shop to look at that. It was the last limb day in October to bring brush in. The chip was end of October. We checked all the street signs. We check them every month, make sure the street signs are right and up, clean. You can read them. Chief Davis gave us our first aid kit, so we got a first aid kit in each truck now. I got prices for a pickleball court and a walking path out around here. I got a price for Aristocrat Drive to repair the catch basins, curbs, and black topping. And then, like Dennis said, Jack Rosen called me he's the president of the HOA at Sedona Ridge, about snow plowing. And they don't think the streets are going to be dedicated this year because of other work in retention ponds that need to be done. But the streets are paved and everything. All the lots are filled, and they want to know if we can plow them. And I mentioned to Dennis that we had the same thing happen in Fort Scott when I was trustee, and we did plow them because they are paying taxes. Some of these people have been paying taxes here for over a year and a half, and they had to pay to get their streets plowed last year, and they're wanting to see if we'll do it this year. So I didn't need an okay or what to tell him.
Is that
I have no problem.
Alan question, or?
No, I think what Jim said about what they did when he was a trustee makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing's done. I thought they would be dedicated by now.
Yeah, it's considered, I guess, the builder's responsibility until we take it over, is that?
No, the HOA paid for it last year, and they paid over $10,000.
They had to pay for it themselves?
They had to pay their, I guess, a subcontractor
Right,
to
just
come in and
private.
salt, and they paid over $10,000, he said, to clear the snow and everything last year. Well, last year was a bad year there, but the lots are full, and they've been paying, some people live there a year and a half now.
Yeah, they're
So,
paying taxes to us.
Yeah, I mean, I have no problem as long as
And
it's
I
okay.
drove through that subdivision, and the roads were finished. They probably did a better job on that development than they did over in Fort Scott anywhere, so.
the reason we
know.
never plow them before when they're undedicated, before the manholes and catch basins are all sticking up and you tear your equipment up, so we never did, but it's final now.
Yeah. They put the last pavement on in September, I think, or around there. So it's smooth as silk. So I'd say, you know, if we need to have a motion, or we just, everybody agree to let it go.
I mean, you've got the people power and you've got the equipment, right? And you've got enough budget to do it. So
It's not that big.
if it's all appropriated, then we probably just give him approval. I don't think we need a motion.
I think you
It's
go
not
ahead and
that-
do it.
It
Fine
ain't
by
that
me.
big. There's only, I think, 74 houses in there, ain't there? I think, something like that.
Yeah.
It's not, it's like
Okay.
one little street and a couple sides. things.
We'll just indicate in the notes that it's approved. Is that okay?
Fine by me.
Everybody? Everybody good?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
All right,
so be it.
I'll call him tomorrow and let him know.
Thanks.
Yep, thank you. That'd be it.
Did you got that email with me about with those alleys again? That
Yeah, I got it, but.
they said they want a resolution saying that we okay to give up those two alleys, but I don't, I'm kind of,
See, we did that, and I thought we did them all years ago. The ones there on the north side of New Baltimore, and the ones on the east side, or the west, south side, I guess it would be, or east. I think we gave them to the people years ago. I think
you're right. I think we did do that.
we told them they was just fighting, because Don Myers was here, I think, when it first started as the attorney, and then everybody was fighting, and then, and they were, I kept telling them an alley can move, something like that can move, because if somebody parks a car there, or a tree starts growing, or nobody cuts it down, they keep driving around it, and next thing you know, you're driving in somebody else's yard. So we told them, you can have them, basically. You guys decided where the property lines are. That's on the other side. I don't know, I thought we did it, I thought it took care of the whole Pottinger subdivision. But,
I'd call him up and tell him that we thought we had that already accomplished. And if he wants another resolution, we can draft one. The way I read it is that he was wanting a resolution as a final nail in the coffin to go ahead and turn it over, since they had.
I never heard of them alleys before.
never,
Oh, well, neither have I, but
never heard of
they got a
what?
legal description, we got
Light of
a
Mother
map,
said they were behind her house.
Yeah.
so, you know.
Is
Yeah,
that
I'll call him and tell him that.
more or less a private,
They're really
How
not
are
even,
you?
they're really not even there. I don't think you can drive and I'm gonna go down this alley. I don't think they're there.
Right.
They're just grass, basically?
They're just like a paper alley, like, on paper.
Oh,
Or they were there and
probably
they
a
just,
right-of-way or
or
something.
they just grew up and nobody ever used them.
So who owns them? Is it owned on either side of the property? Do we
Yeah, it's,
own it?
Adjoining property owners, they
Down the middle?
pretty much, when Lida was here, I
Yeah.
looked at, she was gonna gain something like .005 acres. I
So,
mean, it's minuscule.
so if it's down the middle, do you have to allow easements then? So if somebody wants to go down those alleys?
No, once in this, they
Private
Yeah.
Yeah,
property?
it's
They-
private now.
resurveyed it, he's just wanting us to put our stamp of approval on it. So,
I'll call him.
yeah, double check with him, tell him you thought we already,
Etzel James is his name.
and if we gotta do it, next meeting, we'll get it done.
I say if it's private property, they could put a chain across and keep people out completely.
Well, I don't think anybody's going in there to begin.
Yeah, I don't think you
It's-
could pick out where the alley's at and say, I'm gonna drive down through here. I don't think there's nothing there.
Now, township,
Just on paper, there's an alley there.
Okay. Is that all you got, Jim?
Yes, it,
Were you spreading salt this morning?
with a shovel. No.
Fire Chief Davis.
October run totals, we had 30 EMS details, 20 fire details, for a total of 50 in October. Home Depot had their yearly safety/touch-a-truck event in October. Our crews were once again able to be a part of that event. I want to thank Home Depot for the invite again this year.
A lot of people show up for that.
A good amount, yeah. It was community-wise, the Metro was there, Rumpke was there, Crosby, Harrison, Whitewater, Sheriff's Office, a couple fire and EMS departments from Indiana. It was a good time. Our crews participated in an MCI drill, which is a mass casualty incident drill that was held at Harrison High School. This drill was for the area police departments, fire and EMS departments, and teachers. That drill went very well. That was an active shooter drill and went very well. At the last meeting, we tabled a decision on the joint fire and EMS district feasibility study by a third party. That study included Harrison, Miami Township, Whitewater, and us, Crosby Township. After talking to the fire chiefs and the trustees involved, I believe we feel that it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and have that company do the feasibility study to see if it's even possible to join, whether it benefits all four, two, or benefits none. So I guess
Need a motion.
I need approval, for
Right.
that to be.
What was the, you got the
It's-
paperwork
I've
on
got
that, what was the cost?
For us, it was $79.69.
Just shy of $8,000 per department.
It was like 35 altogether, 37
Just
or
over
something like
31,
that.
Right.
yeah.
I move that we,
We'll have to, do we have a funding for that? We'll have to,
I don't know, do you have any funds left for these kinds of assessments, or do I have to find it in the general fund? I don't think you
I-
have money right now,
I could
right?
get with Jamie.
I
'Cause
think
we-
you would
we have
take it
to-
out of the general fund.
All right, because we have to keep on moving money into his accounts,
Right.
but mostly that's for vendor payments and payroll. Primarily payroll is where we're always short. So he may have some in another line account, but if you guys approve me to take it out of the general fund, I'll just take it out of the general fund.
That's what I would move that we cover the 79.69
Out of
for
the
that
general,
study out of the general fund.
okay. I need a second.
I second it.
roll call,
Mr. Hyde,
Yes.
Mr. Heiss,
Yes.
Mr. Lohman.
yes.
Do you need anything signed by us, or just pull the trigger?
Yeah, I
And the
believe,
payments will be due at the end?
I'm not sure about that. I know.
I'll need the terms.
Yep. I'll get back with you.
Okay.
Just as long as we can give the other townships and cities approval, saying, yes, we are in it, so everybody can start the,
I think everybody else is on board.
Okay.
They already are, I
Yeah.
think, so. We were the
Okay.
last, we were the
Good.
last holdout.
I'll get back with you on that.
Okay.
And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Community
I
coordinator,
have a question.
sorry.
On the new ambulance that we have purchased, do you know when we would be taking delivery of that?
I believe it was April, May of '26.
Okay, and then once we get that, do you have enough equipment out of the old unit to put in there to make it suffice, or are we gonna have to buy more equipment to staff that ambulance?
We got approval for the cot and the load system for it.
All right,
the Lucas device for it, and for the budget of 2026, I'm asking for that art monitor to replace that. So yes, we have enough to staff it.
okay, when we go into the budget meeting, could you prioritize
Yes,
all the stuff that you have so that we know what we can move back a year?
correct. Yep,
Okay. Thank you.
yep.
All right, Brenda.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with a follow-up from our last meeting, just an update on some items first, and then tell you some things that are happening around here. Okay, first one is update on the policy and procedure manual. They are in process and will be given to all department heads after a glitch is resolved relating to their printing. This manual will be updated, just FYI, as needed throughout its lifetime, I suppose. In the meantime, I will tell you that there is a change page that's been added to the front of it, just to give you an idea that it will be changed to indicate items that are either added, modified, or are considered null and void. An FYI to the side of that would be the facilities application has been updated and inserted in there, and I'm bringing attention to it because it's now going to reflect that a department head of any department must sign off on the request made by their employees. And this should address a recent situation regarding reservations of our facilities. So anything that you currently have of the old form, we're going to need to discard those, and I'll put the new one in your mailbox. But I wanted to tell you about it first.
Brenda?
Yep.
I do have the fire department's starting process for that, so I have a copy of what we have so far.
Oh.
And then as I get more, I will turn
Awesome.
them into to you once everybody's complete.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to hold this for a second because I'm going to kind of describe that part in just a second. I have two things to tell you all about. Moving on here, I said the next thing I was going to share is that we've completed the task of organizing new keys for a coming change in our door locks. When Jim Niehaus worked with the locksmith here to begin the change, the number of keys for each door was an approximation. And turns out, once the forms were all sent to the department heads and trustees and whatever, those requests, we're actually going to require more keys be made before we can proceed. So we've run out of keys to pass out at the moment. But that will be completed shortly, hopefully. At the last trustee meeting, I was given the task of having our staff members review 3 resolutions regarding cybersecurity. There is an employee agreement page in there that requires their signature that basically says the undersigned have been debriefed and agree to comply. Now, all the staff now has complied to this point and signed that, and as Jason just gave me, the fire department is in the process as they have staff who are not always available due to scheduling. So he's working that, but the rest of it's all done. And then I will just add that while the resolutions are generated in the fiscal office, there is a resolution book under the mailboxes in my office to provide accessibility to employees at any time who would like to review them. Next on my item of business here, the Minuteman Press did an excellent job of printing and getting the township newsletters to our residents in a timely manner. The cost for this mailing was $2,975.83, and our last newsletter cost was $2,992.59. I thought that was pretty amazing that a year later we have such a good price again from Minuteman Press. When the zoning department gives me the additional postal addresses from 2024, I will send those to the printer for a second mailing for those residents who haven't received one yet. Then for the community, the Hamilton County Veterans Services Commission representative, Amber Newbussy, will conduct a seminar as well as question and answer period for our community residents who'd like to know more about their veterans benefits. That meeting will be here at the Community Center on Tuesday, November 18th at 6:00 p.m. with additional representatives to provide one-on-one meetings with veterans as well if desired. Tomorrow, we're having turkey. It's the senior luncheon scheduled for November 11th. We are going to enjoy a turkey dinner donated by Liz Grinkelmeyer, representing Elite Living Personal Care Homes, as one of our guest speakers. We will also have a program for our veterans with a guest speaker, Gene Wilson, who is the past department commander of Ohio American Legion. So we're looking forward to that tomorrow. Dinner with Friends will happen on Saturday, coming up, this Saturday, November 15th at 5 o'clock. We will be eating at the Market Street Grill in Harrison, then going to Harrison High School to attend the band's fundraiser to see the Bel Airs concert at 7. So we're looking forward to a in Harrison kind of evening. Lastly, don't forget the Christmas Brass Concert on December 10th at 7 p.m. here at the Community Center. And that's the end of my report. I'm done. What are you doing? Doing that to me? No. I thought your hand was going, hey, hey. You didn't want me at all? No. Oh, okay. All right. Well, you may have the floor back, Doug. I'm not sure what happened, but it's all yours.
He's going to get Rick for zoning.
Oh, I kept seeing his arms going around my head. Like, I'm not sure what we're doing, but it's okay with me. Sounds like Rick will be here shortly. As Mark would say, copy that. Thank you, Jason.
Is he ready, or
He'll be here.
should we could have switched, but
Want to go to fiscal officer?
okay.
We'll catch up.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can start.
all right. Fiscal Officer Charlie.
Yep. I've given the trustees this report, but the appropriations have been approved. Minutes were issued and approved earlier tonight. You've got a copy of the bank reconciliation, so we'll get that signed off. Pass that around. My fiscal report. You know, we did not secure a CPA firm to do the financial reviews of all the payroll systems, so I'm still working on that. There was a request by Dennis that I try to get together a resolution to pay all the outstanding IRS debts, including interest and penalties. I did not get that accomplished because we owe money, and we've got some reporting to do to the Ohio State Auditor's Office, Ohio Department of Taxation, the IRS, Hamilton County Auditor's Office, and Warren Davidson's office. So I've got to get that pulled together between now and December so we can move that forward. I've included some of the elements that I reported on last month. A couple things have happened. One, we got information confirmed on 2018 on what we actually have posted up as the forms and the payments. We also got information, I don't know if it's final or not, from 21, 22, 23, and 24, and there were additional findings. So we've got missing documents and missing payments for those years. So I've got to dig into those. That's kind of a couple reasons why I didn't get the tally pulled together. But we did get evidence on 2018, and I'm working on those 4 years. It just is a mess for 8 years that needs to get fully resolved. So you've got a listing of all the disclosures from Warren Davidson's office and the status. I updated those on my report. I won't dig into all those. But by December, I will have a full detailed resolution request that will go to the IRS, and I'm also digging into, do we owe anybody for back payments on pension plans, for any of the other fees that come out of employees as deductions? I have no idea, but there may be things missing. So I'm working on it. It's just a horrendous mess. So I'll get that done. Good news is I've cleaned up 25. And so all of 25 is in good shape at this point. We got actually money credited to us, and we got that one penalty of $3,500 waived, so that was all good. We did have our pre-budget planning meeting last week, so we put together, I call it the vision summary, which means that we put together a document that says, what's the big, hairy, audacious goal for this community for 2035? What are the brand promises? What's the core values that we represent? What's our purpose? What is the 3 to 5 year plan on that journey to get us to 10 years? What's the 1 year and what's the 1 quarter? And then we went around the room. We had each of the departments report out. And Brenda helped me out a lot by keying in all those flip charts. And then I keyed in the one from zoning that I took the picture of, Rick. So we got that into the document. Now it's just a matter, I've got the template for the minutes. I just got to fill in the details and then do all the attachments. And then that'll become the grist for the mill when we establish our budgeting meeting. So before we end this meeting today, I've got to have a budgeting meeting established early in December and get that set so we can set the money, because I got to put the money into the budget by December 31st. Other things that I've been working on, and I'm going to bring up my guest here in just a moment. We did start our cybersecurity audit last week, and he didn't get it pulled together. He'll have that to me by the end of the week, but I've asked him, it's Dave Hatter. He's kind of a regional renowned guy for cybersecurity. And I said, give me the one-liner. He said, basically, you're going to need to replace nearly every piece of equipment that you've got. And we got to update many pieces of software, because we've got software running these machines that are outdated and do not have security fixes. In fact, one in fire department, we know that it's at least 10 years old. And it's no longer being maintained by Microsoft or anybody else. So we're vulnerable. We're just wide open. So you're going to get a big request to get platforms. Also, I'm going to ask for help in getting VPNs put in, because right now anybody that dials into our system, they could be penetrating by pulling documents and posting documents, and it could have viruses attached to it, and it gets into our network, and then it goes throughout all of our emails. So we got to button that all up. So we've got one fellow here tonight, Zach. He'll come up and present. I think I've given you all copies of the high level. I've gotten 2 other folks to, I'm going to get them to get here in December, and they'll give us bids. But we got a lot of work in the infrastructure space to get done. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Zach. If you can take the mic up there, Zach, and talk about the 6 projects that he identified that we need to do. And all of this probably will end up going to the administrator once this all gets resolved, that we got an administrator. So there's a lot of things that's got to go their way, and this would just be another piece of work. But Zach, go ahead and introduce yourself and give us a high level of these 6 projects.
All right. Good evening. My name is Zach Collins with CT Security. Basically, I put a list together over the past few months with Charlie and Jamie and went through the building to see what you have in place and to see how we can protect what you have and what we would actually need to replace moving forward. So I put them in order in a list of what we feel you should do first, and then we'll go down the list in the order that we feel that they should go in. So the first thing would be endpoint security. This is all the software that we would put on the user devices, laptops, tablets, computers, and servers. This will protect against the malware, ransomware, and viruses. It also will do the licensing for real-time alerts as a user downloads software or wants to implement software that is going to raise an alert in the security of the device. We would actually get an alert and be able to communicate out to the township and say, why is this software needed? Is it something you do need, so that we can whitelist the software so moving forward you don't have any issues running that software. Network infrastructure upgrades. When walking the building, we noticed that right now you're just using the Cincinnati Bell or Alta Fiber modem to allow the internet feed into the building. In those modems, there's no packet inspection or any inbound and outbound traffic control. And with what Charlie said, there's no VPN reporting in that modem. So we are proposing to upgrade the network switch and put in a firewall so that we can secure the connections coming into the building and also secure what's going out of your building. A lot of companies nowadays with softwares, I don't know if you use QuickBooks or Microsoft 365 even, when they want to do tech support, they want to remote onto the device. The key is trapping if they try and move things outside the building. And with the network you have right now, that is not controlled.
So just to answer one question is we use UAN for our accounting and all of our payroll. So it's a state of Ohio issued machine and software into a cloud. So we'll have to sort that out. But to your point, any devices that come in here, whether it be from your phone or your laptop, and you connect into this network and into the services that are on our network, we have no protection. So that could end up passing viruses and malware and get infected. The other thing I found out recently is that we need to move our domain to a .gov domain as opposed to a .org domain, because in .gov you get more protection through the government for these kinds of services. So that'll be another thing that we'll want to look at. And that'll be, again, something the administrator will look at, because that would be a requirement for the new website as a .gov service as opposed to a .org service.
And then moving on to the phone system, as of right now, when you call into the township phone lines, you can only take one call at a time. If someone else calls in, I believe it rings busy right now. It doesn't disconnect right away. But moving to a voice over IP phone system would give the township the ability to have multiple calls coming in, be able to transfer calls from here over to the fire department if needed. We can make the whole township rely on one server, but also allow residents to call in multiple times instead of just one person at a time. We can also, with the new phone system that we're proposing, we can send out email alerts if messages are left, so that someone that may only be here 3 days a week or 2 days a week, we can get that email out to another user so that your call can be attended quicker instead of the next following week. And then, like Charlie was saying, we also brought to their attention to bring up moving the domain and email hosting to a private server instead of a publicly held server. Just in the instance of you're not knowing exactly where your domain is held right now or your email is stored right now, we would bring that all privately so that we could control where the emails are stored, what information is stored, and how to archive it if needed to in the future. Some of the lower items on the list, the video doorbell outside. Right now it's just a wireless hands-free system, where if we moved into the voice over IP system, we can actually put in a doorbell device that would ring desk phones and also be able to be brought up on computers so someone could talk to the person outside before approaching the glass doors for security. The fire alarm in the building, we brought up that we could move it over to a cell communicator just in case the phone lines were to go down or communication was lost in the building would still be protected with the fire alarm if we put it on a cellular device. And then the last item was sort of just a reach of a wish list to get all your documents into one place and to offer you all space is a remote cloud storage that's privately held. Right now, Microsoft and Google, everybody uses those clouds publicly all the time. They don't think about it, but I've stepped into many businesses and I always ask them what cloud service they're using. Some say Microsoft, some say Google, but the big thing I always bring up is if I gave you unlimited tickets and you could take me exactly where that data is, could you point me in that direction? And 99.9% of people say no because they do not know where it is. Being a township holding public records and secure documents, this would give you the option to go into a data center that's local and that has redundancy in the state of Florida, but it keeps it local to the U.S. It does not go outside our country, which a lot of publicly held data centers are all outside the country for redundancy.
And that was brought up in one of the messages from the State of Ohio Audit Organization. They were asking me, where do you back up your data?
Mm-hmm.
We don't. It's all local. It's all right here. So first of all, we got to find it and put it in a secured location. Secondly, we got to have a backup facility for it, and it's got to be off-site. It can't be in this building. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to put it on this drive and throw it in the vault. That's not adequate. So there's a number of things that have to be worked on, and Zach and I have been talking about it for a while. We just now need to start pulling the trigger and get some infrastructure in place. I've just taken it on because I know a little bit about it, but as soon as the administrator gets here, it'll be their job.
That's all I have.
Any questions for Zach?
It's a lot to chew on. I mean, I appreciate getting this information. And if you got 2 more vendors, it'll be interesting to see their presentation. And,
Yep.
And I'll learn a lot here.
There you go. Yeah, it's just that right now you guys have heard me say this before. I want to try to get us into the 21st century, and then we can kind of catch up to the last 25 years. But let's get to this century first, and do basic things. And and I'll report on it in a few minutes. But in our last audit, even though they did the audit in January, I didn't get the report until October the 30th. They said basically we've got massive mismanagement and no management of our infrastructure. Basically, we haven't been doing anything for many years. So, needs to be addressed. Any other comments from the trustees or any others? All right, Zach, thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Zach.
All right, so I mentioned the report of October 30th. It came in on the 30th, and it was, so even the audit office has some opportunities to improve. But they found us delinquent in management internal controls generally, and then secondly in payroll, because they looked at our records and they saw that we were in trouble and said, you guys don't have adequate controls over all your payroll filings and your payroll payments. And it goes the entire 8 years from 17 all the way to the current year. So we've got to do that. The action item from last month, I think we've taken care of it with the health insurance refunds. Did your guys and gals get those checks, Jason?
Say that again, I'm sorry.
On the health insurance refund, did those make it to your bank accounts? All right.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
All right. I requested that of Jamie. Well, I'll have to follow up with her. It has come to my attention that let's just say that we have another visibility event with a newspaper or a TV station. Do we need to identify a PR person? Do we need to make sure we're saying the right things in the public domain? Should we just say no comment? I need some guidance on that. Whoever answers the phone right now can probably respond, and we don't have any policies for what we're going to say and who we're going to say it to.
Charlie, I'm sorry, before we go on to that, would that be a separate check, or would that be added to the payroll check?
It would be a separate check.
Okay, we have not received that yet.
Okay, I'll make sure it gets cleared, because we did approve that payment of $1,200 and some odd dollars to be spread pro rata share with your employees based on their payments.
Okay.
So I'll need to make sure those checks get taken care of. And it was checks, it was warrants. It's not even automatic deposits.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, we would have signed all those.
Let's see. So I said we started the
sign a stack of
cybersecurity. I started to do work on a new website, but I've postponed it. I said to my contact, and we've got some opportunities to improve our website, to make it more useful, make it more current, add some more features to it. But I said to my contacts, I said, we'll wait till the administrator gets here, and the administrator can design it, implement it, whatever, so I'm backing out of that.
Good.
And we said something about policies. We got the policy book, but we don't have a policy system. So I committed that I would write that policy system document that says this is how they get authorized, they get created, they get approved, and then most importantly, they get implemented. And that's the reason Brenda has been taking the forefront, at least on the cybersecurity ones, to get signatures that says, yeah, I will comply. We've never had an implementation process. So I'll write that policy up, and then I'll give it to Dennis or whoever's leading the charge with the administrator, say, hey, this is our policy implementation process, and we need to button up a little bit our resolution process too, to make sure, because that is an augmentation of our policies. So that's about it for me.
Anything else for Charlie? Thank you.
All right.
And then we'll go back to Rick with zoning.
We only issued one zoning certificate last month, and that was for one deck. Mr. Lohman asked me to investigate pet cemeteries. They were surveying in the area and had a resident call and wanted to know what was going on. So I did a little bit of research, and I contacted Hamilton County Zoning, the SPCA, contacted the Township Association, and the Board of Health. And the Board of Health came back with an answer, and the state of Ohio does have regulations for pet cemeteries. The pet cemetery that we have in Crosby Township was established, I think, well over 100 years ago, and it's gone through a couple different hands. Right now, a family owns it, and I do not know whether there's been new internments or whether the pet cemetery even operates anymore. But to let that resident know and let everyone else know that there are pet cemetery regulations in the state of Ohio, and they're real similar to human cemeteries. So there is a procedure for taking a pet cemetery and turning it into a different kind of use, but you have to go through a whole lot of hoops to be able to do it. I gave the trustees copies of the regulations. They're kind of long to read, but I was just trying to follow up and let everybody know that
there are some rules.
Exist in Crosby Township, and there's a lot of rules.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
Thanks, Rick, for doing that. Anything else for Rick? All right, old business. I have none.
I guess I got one bit, and that is I went to fiscal officer training up in Dayton, and it was 4 hours, and it enlightened me as to all of my responsibilities, which are deep and thorough. So anyway, I've now been trained as a fiscal officer, so I guess I can accommodate this role now with my eyes open.
Did you get a button or anything?
I got the piece of paper that says you're certified.
Dennis, did you have old business?
Yep. If you went back there in the back in the zoning, you can see that the administrator's office is framed in, got the drywall up, and it's coming along pretty good, so it looks pretty good. We are going to have to address a budget for equipment going in there. I don't know if we need to do that tonight or do it at our December meeting. I'm assuming we will hold interviews after the 14th sometime. And once we pick our candidate, I guess we could give that candidate a budget to supply the office back there, because we'll have to supply a computer, a printer, scanner, fax machine, and office desk and chair. We'll have file cabinets that the zoning is going to upgrade, so we'll have some file cabinets that we can use. The fire department is going to use some of the file cabinets from back there also that Rick is updating, so we're going to get a second use out of them.
Dennis,
And-
let me suggest something. We can look to our IT guy here, but in my past, I always put in standard platforms so that all the machines were running the same operating systems. They were the same platform, so when you go in and you're calling the help desk for support, they know exactly what kinds of machines. So we should have standardization for the laptops, for the printers, for the network nodes. All that should be standard. It shouldn't be the administrator's call, like, I like this machine. No, we need to set standards. So we should set the standards
Okay,
by
well,
December, and then we'll purchase against those standards.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yep.
All right, and then on the fire department update, the firewalls have been completed. The truck bay, since that firewall is all the way up to the ceiling now, to the roof, they can put the insulation in and put the ceiling pads in. AE door was there last Friday, measuring up the door, so that door will be installed. Inside, in between the truck bay and the living quarters, that firewall is up against the steel beam. They got to finish it from the steel beam up to the roof. There's a gap, and that is going to get finished, and then they're going to rebuild the supply room. They're going to paint it. There's plywood going in against the wall where they had to saw the metal off, where their equipment lockers were. And so that'll be installed, backing up to the firewall. It's got to be waterproof, so that's going to get sprayed up to the flood level. And so all this is going on, and we're looking at getting to the end of this project. The only other thing is I have to allocate some more funds. I did the math, and so far we have allocated $1,034,511.48. When they came in with the change order on the firewall and everything that had to be finished up, caught me by surprise on the amount. I called in Bob May so we could walk through it. And after we walked through it, it pretty much all made sense because that change order was $50,000. But that's with the brick wall and finishing the firewall in the truck bay, the added insulation that's up above, rebuilding the storage room for their supplies, painting and everything. So right now I am short, and I talked to Bob today, and we're pretty confident that there shouldn't be any more cost. This should be the last amount of money that we need, that will finish the building. But
Are we going to need a resolution here then for an extra 55
I'm
grand?
going to have to do a supplemental again,
Ken,
and the amount that I came up with,
28?
28.
the amount I came up with is $78,586.64. So if you just want to round
80.
it off,
Yeah, make it 80.
that'd be fine.
Okay. I will ask Dennis, I know this is going to be a little painful. You know, we ought to start a reconciliation. You know, what was the original budget? What was the appropriations? What were the incremental changes? What did we end up spending? So that we can have this as a project file that says, okay, this is.
I can
where-
get that.
Yeah, this is where we started, where we ended up with actuals. This is
I
how
was going
much
to go
the
back
change orders.
through all my paperwork, and I
Yeah,
was going to
that'd be
accumulate
great.
all the change orders, the original bid,
Yep,
so that we can follow how everything
that'd be great.
came up to this.
Yeah,
point
I'd
in
like it
time.
for me, for the financial office, but I'd also like all the trustees to
Sure.
just look it over and say, yep, I understand where we spent our money, and it looks like we spent our money in a good place, and we've got now a really good asset for our fire department.
Yeah, well, and then you know, looking back at the firehouse that we have now, we have meeting rooms and storage that we didn't have before. We have a firewall that was never there that opened us up to liability in case an
absolutely.
engine caught on fire.
Right.
So right there is a big plus. We put in a new septic system, which eventually that was going to have to be done because the septic system that's in there is, what, 40, 50 years old? So that was going to have to be upgraded eventually. We got a backup generator, which the firehouse never had a backup generator before. When the electric went down, they were cold unless they pulled out some of their little portables. And so we got a backup generator now.
That's great.
And so there's a lot of positives upgrading this.
Yep.
And like we're
Thank you.
trying to do here is bring it into the 21st century.
There you go.
We got a little work to do there. He's got to get some office equipment put in.
Yep.
We delayed carpeting where the bedrooms are because I thought we could do it cheaper after the other contractor was out of there because of their markups. So we have a little bit of work to do if we want to finish the project out. And but it's going to.
And we should finish it, but you just
Well,
have to put it all
Well,
together.
you look
and
at where
yeah.
their bedrooms are, it looks like a dorm room up at Ohio State. I mean, you know, some of the rooms got carpet, some of it's concrete, some of it's got a throw rug. I mean, it's, you know, all that structure was adapted to be a firehouse. And so, you know, we had to bring it up to speed now, so.
What's the number again?
28.
28.
28, 20, 25.
But what's the dollar amount?
Oh,
$80,000 even.
80,000.
So I move that we adopt resolution 25-2025, or 28-2025 for $80,000.
And we'll need a second.
I second it.
Okay.
Roll call.
Mr. Hyde,
Yes.
Mr. Lohman,
Yes.
Mr. Heiss.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's pretty much all the old business I have.
Okay.
Chuck, old business.
Yes, I brought this up a couple of times in the past. I gave the trustees a copy of the agreement between the city of Harrison and Harrison Township. We got a treasurer here from the city of Harrison. Hi. So, if you got any questions, we can ask her. But I did get some information. Got this booklet, and I thought it gave me more detail, but according to this, Great Parks, they might have went by a different name, but they were founded in 1930s. And I don't know if Miami Whitewater was one of the first parks or not. But I also found out, I got an email, 7 million visitors per year in Great Park. But I don't know how many go to Miami Whitewater. But I would think my guess would be at least 1 million visitors.
So is this all about the fire protection in the park and getting some kind of cooperation with them?
Yes, yes. I got some figures here. I gave copy to the trustees. And I know this includes a capital improvement. But in 2023, the Q account filed was 1,437,000. 2024, 1,705,000. 2025, as of November 5th, we spent 2,134,000. 2026, I don't know how much we're going to be spending. Probably at least probably 1,700,000. I don't know. But this is not counting the trustees and the fiscal officer supervising the accounting for the fire department. So, we receive no real estate taxes from the Great Park. Every time they buy land in Crosby Township, we lose more real estate taxes. And basically, Great Park, we got Mount Hope, Miami Whitewater, we got New Haven Road, we got the Sacred Oxford Road. Some of the things that Great Park has, a golf course, hiking, bike trail, a playground, lake, which boats and canoe. Great Park total, again, I gotta have a breakdown, 18,000 acres. So,
That's for great parks altogether.
yeah, that's great. I could not find a figure yet, what the total is. Now the agreement between City of Harrison and Harrison Township, 2025, Harrison Township paid $145,532. Next year, 2026, it will go up to $155,532. I don't know what the total cost to the City of Harrison for the fire department. I don't know if you would have an idea how much that might be. Right. Okay.
Yes. Oh, it's separate. That's just fire.
So, now I think there's Harrison Fire Department received a fire truck paid by Harrison Township. Is that right? I think in 2017 or 2018 they bought that. So, you know how much the total the fire department and the city, like, we spent like $2,134,000 this year. You got an idea? But I'm sure more than $155,000. So that gets the agreement between City of Harrison and the Harrison Township.
I guess I have a question, Chief. How many calls do you get over into the park area for emergency health or fire? I mean, is it like 10% of your runs, 2% of your runs?
It varies. I keep track.
Yeah.
So,
I've got them for every year, so I'll have to get back with you.
Okay.
on that.
We ought to know that.
It's more EMS than it is fire.
Yeah. And then we ought to take a look at pro rata share cost of what does that cost us per run, see how many runs, and then that gives us a cost basis, and we look at their revenue model and see what kind of revenue they're getting and see if the revenue that we would expect will actually cover your costs.
so
That's what we got to go through.
one of the things is, regardless if you got 20 cars a year or 100 cars a year, you need to be available for in case you do have a fire run or an ambulance run. So, after the fire department is running day and night, I mean, they got cars.
They're always available.
Yeah, available. So I think for the great parks, I think we should maybe look into maybe the idea maybe our attorney could write a letter to their attorney, because their attorneys came back and said that they're a separate government entity. So, and they could go by that.
He's wanting you to talk to their attorney about.
You mean the Great Parks attorney?
Yeah, great part. The zoning, they got to go for out zoning.
Brief discussion.
The thing is there's a section in the Ohio Revised Code that allows one public jurisdiction to access fees from another jurisdiction that is being serviced with, like the fire and EMS. That's how Harrison gets theirs from Harrison Township. So there is that statute. Cindy Abrams gave it to me. I wrote it down. I couldn't find it. I'll have to research it. But once when they get done with the seed nursery and their meeting building up there, because they're putting in one heck of a development up there, once when that comes online, they need to help Crosby Township maintain the services in case something goes south up there.
Yeah.
Because they have a major development there, and I feel that they should be giving us something for us to be in the area to cover their needs. So,
Yeah, they get great towns, great parks get
so once when that
7 million
happens,
visitors, everybody, but I know Miami Whitewater get a lot of visitors. They got the park, you know, the boat, the lake, hiking trail, golf course. So if you figure about $2 million, 2% would be 40,000 or 50,000 a year. So, I mean, that's a small amount could pay for having our fire department and our ambulance ready for in case of emergency. So, like I said, we found it in 1930. I'm not sure how long Miami Whitewater been around. I don't know if anybody here been around since 1930.
I'm old, not that old.
Yo, not. But I get thought we need to look into it. And I'm not sure if you want our attorney to send a letter to their attorney saying that we believe that we're providing a service and we're not getting paid any money.
If we can put those numbers together and show the cost, yeah, and present that to, if it's the attorneys, fine. If it's directly to the, Great Parks people from the township.
yeah, I know Todd Palmeter, he's the head man. I know him personally, so I was
For
working
Great Parks or for Miami?
Great Parks.
Oh.
So once when we get to a point, I got all this other stuff going on here, so I was figuring after the first year,
Okay.
I was going to pursue a meeting with him
Good.
and drop that in his lap and see what kind of response I get.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks.
May I say something? Oh, I'm sorry. In the latest issue of Township News, the state of Ohio has the same consideration between a community and the state parks. And the General Assembly wanted to address this and make it so that the local community gets compensated for taking care of state parks. The governor he vetoed it, but he's established some sort of research committee, let's say, to look into it. So the state has the same problem. Well, the communities that service the state parks have the problem, but it's being addressed on the state level also.
That's good to know.
Yeah, thanks.
So I have I won't be here next year. So, but the way to get income, we already talking about spending money, but we not really talk about how we can generate more income. So, I believe there's be a way to help cover our costs, our fire department. I know Jason against it because I only have so many runs, but the idea is we're there if you need you. I mean, if you got 10 cars, 100 cars a year, get like Crosby. We're not on the run at one after another. You're there in case you need assistance. So that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chuck. New business budget meeting.
Yeah, we need to establish the date. Is
Do
everybody available?
you want it before our next meeting? Like,
Yeah.
we could do December 1st, that's a Monday,
Fine by me.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock,
What
Is
day?
everybody good with that?
What day
December
is it?
1st.
December 1st, a Monday.
Monday.
December 1st,
Budget.
7 o'clock.
So I'll be sending out all the notes and all the work that we did last Thursday to everybody, so you'll get that. And then you'll have to approve them in our next monthly meeting, but at least they'll have all the information to drive the numbers. And then we'll get together, and it's gotta be a prioritized list, from top to bottom. This is what I gotta have. And then we'll figure out how that matches up to the revenue that we approved. And we'll see if we've got a shortfall or excess. And if we're a shortfall, maybe we have to kick in, looking for grant money. Or we have to push some of those things out into 27. That's the way it works.
Yeah. Our next meeting is December the 8th. Is that enough time for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So will you, that should be put in the paper and published.
Yep.
So
I'll get with Jamie to get that
Okay.
published, for the budget meeting.
yeah, I mean, you can do it any time.
Yeah. We'll get that out,
Okay.
7 o'clock here. But bring all the supervisors and trustees, everybody, bring your numbers. Because we gotta beat the numbers up and actually finalize those numbers on the 8th at our next meeting so we can get it put into UAN as the budget for 26.
And that's all I have for new business. Dennis,
None.
Chuck,
You can budget zero money for me, but you need to budget for him. And he getting,
He gets an increase.
he get an increase.
Because
Yeah.
he's a new guy.
I get nothing. But after,
But we'll take your volunteer help.
yeah, after 15 years and 9 months, I need to
Okay.
retire and give some volunteer work. Maybe I work for the city of Harrison. I hope they need a lot of help.
All right.
They're annoying me.
All right, other concerns, a couple things. Tomorrow's Veterans Day. We have a nice banner here. Thanks to all the veterans from Crosby Township for your sacrifice. And then the only other thing is we had an election, and congratulations to Rick Lozekamp, Dennis, and Charlie for 2026. That's all I have for concerns. Anybody else?
Because you won by a landslide.
Landslide,
You won
yeah.
by one vote.
Yeah. I had more than one vote.
Oh.
I voted for myself, and I think my wife voted for me, but I think I had about 800. So
I don't know.
there's a few other people got that vote.
Actually, going back in history, I won by one vote the first time I ran.
Yeah?
Yes, I called it up. First, I won by 3 votes. I called the office, and they said, "Well, we need to do a recount because they found a whole tray, and they got to know if it been counted or not." So they could count all the votes,
Oh, my.
Over.
and then I came up with one, and then I had to recount again because it was in 5%.
Mm-hmm.
So.
On that note, Harrison Township passed that police levy by like 4 votes, but Tom Lozekamp just told me that there's like 50 absentees. They won't know till Friday what they are, so
Oh.
it may not have even passed.
Wow.
I told my wife and daughter if they voted for me, I would win by three votes instead of 1. So,
So our next budget meeting is December 1st, and our next regular meeting is December 8th, 2025.
Yep.
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Dennis?
Second?
you
Go
want?
ahead.
I second it.
Roll call.
Roll call. Mr. Hyam?
Yes.
Mr. Lohman?
Yes.
Mr. Heiss?
Yes.
7:22.
Wow.
Sorry, 8:33.
I was going to say, wow.
That was a quick meeting.
I was going to say. That's still an hour.
Wishful thinking.
It's still an hour earlier. All right.
We're early, but we're not that early.